Grandmasters are out and it's time to bring out the Frosty Warlock that's going to allow you to farm GMs for those insane rewards with almost max revives. And after guilding my Conqueror, I can tell you that the Grandmasters this season are no joke. But worry not, because this build will have you spitting out turrets and rifts everywhere. Your turret alone will counter all 3 types of champion. And my favorite part about this build is that it doesn't rely on orbs of power or weapons with demolitionist, so you can forget about those. Also, if you are having trouble with Grandmasters, raids or any content in the game, then make sure to join my Discord server, as we are constantly teaching and helping other Guardians every single day. Ever since they removed elemental shards, Stasis Warlocks have been adapting to a different playstyle. However, in today's video, I'll show you how you can spawn 2 or even 3 rifts at the same time. And you might be wondering, Trey, why do you need so many rifts? Well, that's because we have an amazing mod called Bomber on our class item, which gives us 25% grenade energy with 2 copies whenever we cast our rift. The way that we are going to be getting our rift back is thanks to Whisper of Refraction, which gives us class ability energy whenever we defeat slowed or frozen targets, which is going to be all the time. This mod actually gives a really good amount of class ability energy. However, as great as it might sound, we do have teammates, so we won't be always getting the kill and proccing Whisper of Refraction. That is why we are also going to be using Bolstering Detonation, which is an arms mod that also grants you class ability energy whenever you deal damage with your grenade. The beauty about this mod is that our stasis turrets count as a grenade, therefore they proc this mod. Now keep in mind there is a 7-second cooldown between activations, but your turret lasts for 30 seconds, so it will activate this mod plenty of times. The gameplay loop with this build will be to spam your rift as soon as you throw down your turret. That way, while you and your turret are doing work, you will be getting your rift back, so then you can use it once again to reactivate the bomber mods that provide you with grenade energy. Very simple yet extremely effective loop. You basically have an infinite amount of rifts, which feed into your grenade, allowing you to spam your turrets without having to pick up any orbs of power. We also can't forget about our exotic, which makes this whole build even better. The Ospimancy gloves are easily one of the best exotics in the game. However, in order to take full advantage of this exotic, you need to learn how to use them properly. The Ospimancy gloves provide you with a second charge of your cold snap grenade, and also give you grenade energy whenever your cold snap hits a target. This last part is the key to taking this exotic to the next level. That is because you can very easily get more grenade energy than what you spend if you throw down your cold snap directly at a group of enemies. This means that you should start your rotation with a normal turret and then throw down a cold snap, that way you end up with a net positive grenade energy gain. For example, in here I threw my stasis turret first, which left me with only 1 charge of my grenade, and then I threw in my cold snap to regain grenade energy. I got my full grenade back and ended up gaining about 60% grenade energy for free. Make sure that you try hitting the target directly with your cold snap before it hits the ground, because this provides more grenade energy than just throwing it at the ground. Finally, the cherry on top, and one of the reasons why this build shines in hard content, is because Whisper of Rending provides your primary weapons with a 40% damage boost whenever you shoot a frozen target. Combine this with hard-hitting bows and you end up doing ridiculous amounts of damage to enemies even in Grandmasters. Alright, now that you have a full understanding of how this build works, let's get into the aspects, fragments and mods. Now in the artifact, make sure that you have authorized mods grenades, and then depending on what weapon you're using, you're either gonna go Void, Strand or Solar. Volatile Flow and Bricks from Beyond if you're using a Void weapon. Stat-wise, we are prioritizing Resilience and Discipline, followed by Recovery. For our aspects, we are using Bleak Watcher, which is going to allow you to turn your grenade into a turret. Then we are using Ice Flare Bolts, which is going to spawn Seekers whenever you shatter a frozen target. Those Seekers are gonna go and seek enemies and freeze them. Fragment-wise, we are using Whisper of Durance, This is going to allow for your turret to last longer. Whisper of Rending for that 40% damage boost on frozen targets. Whisper of Chains in case you get surrounded by multiple enemies. This is going to help you in surviving. Now, if you never find yourself being surrounded by enemies and you feel like this is not being useful, then simply switch it out for Whisper of Torment, which is going to provide you with grenade energy every time you take damage. Finally, on this last fragment, there's multiple options. For example, you can go for Whisper of Shards if you're using a weapon with headstone or you have someone creating crystals. You can go for Whisper of Torment if you see yourself taking a lot of damage. Or you can go for Whisper of Refraction, which is what I ended up going with. That way you can get your rift much faster, which is in return going to provide you with grenade energy. Mod-wise, we are using a typical Grandmaster setup, which is Heavy Ammo Finder and Heavy Ammo Scout. That way you and your teammates are getting more heavy ammo. And then we are using a Kinetic Siphon because I get my kills with Witch Ender. However, if you're using Monarch or any other weapon, then make sure to switch this out for either a Void Siphon, Solar Siphon, or whatever weapon you're using. On our gauntlets, we are using Bolster Detonation for that class ability energy, followed by Double Grenade Kickstart. That way, whenever we throw our grenade, we automatically get a little bit of grenade energy back. On our chestplate, we don't have to use Charged Up, which allows us to go triple resist mods, which is going to save you many times in hard content. On our leg armor, we are using Better Already with Recuperation. That way, when you pick up an Herb of Power, you know you're going to survive, because Recuperation is going to heal you, and then Better Already is gonna start your health regeneration. We are also combining this with Stack on Stacks. That way, whenever we do pick up an Herb of Power, it's gonna count as 2 armor charges. On our Bond, we are using Reaper, and this is because we are going to be spamming our Rift 24/7, so there's no reason not to create some free Herbs of Power. And then followed by double bomber mods, that way we can get that 25% grenade energy back whenever we pop our Rift. Weapon wise, I like to stick with bows, specifically the exotic ones, because they are insanely good in hard content like Witch Ender, Le Monarch, Tico's Divination, or even Trinity. If you want to spam even more grenades, then you can also use a weapon with Demolitionist, which is going to aid you in that. However, I find myself spamming enough grenades, so I don't really need that. The way you play this build is by throwing down a turret first and then spamming your Rift as much as possible. This way you can keep activating the bomber mods on your class item, which provide you with grenade energy. Make sure that you throw a cold snap grenade after your first turret if you see a group of at least 3 enemies. Try aiming directly at the enemies so the cold snap hits the target before dropping to the ground, as this will provide you with even more grenade energy back. Lastly, save your super for those dangerous situations where you either need to survive or revive your teammates. If you are confident with the build and with your teammates, then you can also use it to ad clear or to kill a champion. And that is all that you need to know in order to tackle the disgusting Grandmasters that we got this season. Thanks for watching and have a good rest of your day.